viruses can make us ill, but fungi can alter our very minds.
The Last of Us. Show. TV show. Series. I don't know. Usually with the game, it's just The Last of Us, Last of Us 2. It's always weird, like if they called it like, just The Last of Us makes sense, but it always gets confusing when there's like a show and a game and this and that. There's just no like separation there. Unless they literally call it something else. I don't know what the hell they would have called it. Dude, they could have called it like The Last of Us, Joel and Ellie. Joel and Ellie's adventure. The show's good. It's obviously not as good as the game. Normally, I hate feeding that kind of stigma because I give gaming, especially gaming movies and shows, the benefit of the doubt all the time. Like, literally, just the translation of anything from a game that I like at all into a movie that's real, practical, whatever, that's pretty damn cool. It made it in, it got in the gate, made it in the door, it was greenlit, the whole 9 yards. That alone is literally all I need. I don't care if it's... Because that little tidbit alone can be enough to be like, oh hey, this is actually kind of cool. Ooh, I'm interested. Ooh, this is exciting. Ooh, this is gonna be fun. And most of the time it is, more or less. And it's just, you gotta kind of take it at face value, because grain of salt, because it is what it is. That's never gonna mean that these are gonna be perfect. 10 out of 10, 100%, 110%. It's just never gonna happen, but it's still cool. The fact that they even bothered to do that, the fact that these franchises that somebody made get made into something more. They blossom in a like a rose or flower. You know, Todd McFarlane and Spawn. Spawn movie was sweet. Doesn't matter what it is, superhero movies, they turned out great. Hate them or love them, they're doing just fine. Gaming stuff, same thing. Whether it's from comic books or magazines or whatever. Or just, it doesn't even have to have like a source material, just... Things can be just kind of made too. However, with that said, there's definitely some downsides. I like Pedro, obviously because of the Mandalorian. Beforehand, I didn't even know who the guy was. You know, I hate to say it, but these actors are kind of a dime a dozen. You know, there's just so many chasing after that magic dragon. And I'm right there with you, so I'm part of that, but... or in a way. And I saw him... And then after Mando, I saw him in like another space movie that was actually kind of good. Whatever role he does, whatever acting style he's doing, it works, clearly. I mean, hell, in Mando, you didn't even see his face out 99% of the time. So if that says anything, it's his voice. He's calming, he's soothing, he's your cool uncle, he's your dad, he's your friend, he's your best friend, he's your cousin, he's the guy next door, he's the neighbor, he's the guy you see, he's everywhere. He can just be anybody and blend in, and I would say that's what makes actors really, they don't need to always be like so distinctive or have this kind of pizzazz or flair, because really they're limiting themselves to only getting so many parts and doing whatever it is that they do. Granted, they're really going, they have a lane, clearly, and they're going in it, but Pedro, he could pretty much do anything. Although with that said, him being Mando is kind of like him being Elijah Wood or Frodo or Daniel Radcliffe in Harry Potter. You see him in other stuff and it's just kind of weird. Obviously Mando came out before The Last of Us. I don't know when that space movie came out. I don't know what other stuff he's in. I haven't even seen Fantastic Four yet. I think Pedro's probably gonna be... I'm gonna watch it soon, but I guarantee he's like the only redeeming quality in that whole movie. I mean, if anyone's watching that at all, it's probably because of him. So yeah, Pedro's cool. He checks out. Ellie though. I know Bella's known for Game of Thrones. Which is also another HBO show, so clear there's something going on there, right? Like that's not a coincidence. But the thing with Game of Thrones, there was so many guest characters and actors and variety of people that she was just kind of one of like 100 people that just happened to be in the show. There's really only a few that stood out to me because the show actually goes back quite a bit, and you know, who were those actors then? Where are they now? What did they do since then? Those are all big questions to think about. Like, oh shit. Oh, it's that guy. Oh, it's that chick. That's what's almost cooler about watching these shows all these years later, is because like you really see something there. Sean Bean, I loved him in GoldenEye. 007, Silent Hill. But that's what Pedro is here. He is the main guy. He is the main character. I mean, Ellie definitely is too, but... So that's why this show did as well as it did, aside from the fact that it just also happens to be The Last of Us, which is one of the biggest games ever. PlayStation. I played the game on the PS3. I've played this game and part 2 literally like 10 times. Maybe more. Because I got the PS3 version, the PS4 version, the PS5 version, and each time, whether I was able to import saves or not, which I don't think was even a thing. Either way, I played it multiple times. And not only... Like on the PS3 is probably one time, PS4... I don't even know, but by the time I really got that next-gen current version now, I've played it... I pretty much did every difficulty, except Grounded. Which took a long time. So between that and the multiple copies of the games throughout the years, I have a lot of experience with it. I've seen this game, not only watched it, but played it way more than normal. So I really got to know who Pedro is. I really got to know who Ellie is in their respective forms and how they originally created. And my problem is, you know, with Pedro, it's like he's just a guy. He's a dad. Well, in the show, in the game. Does he look like Joel? No. Does he sound like Joel? No. He wasn't Texan. He wasn't country. Joel is such a normal looking guy too. You could have literally grabbed anybody off the street, and I just think it would have made so much more sense. But whatever. Pedro's not the issue. Ellie is. Okay. Bella's a good actor. She's got Ellie's attitude, her likeness, her mannerisms, her emotions, her feelings, everything. Everything's there. That's the important part. And, you know, I think she's getting a lot of hate Here's the bottom line. I don't like her as Ellie. I just don't see it. I'm sorry. I've gone back with this game too far. If I played The Last of Us like today, or by the time season 1 came out, the show, I really wouldn't probably have cared. But it's like the more you kind of play the game, let alone how many years you go back, it's really tough to see that. I know it's probably a very typical thing to put out there, but it's fair. I mean, you can't deny that. Even if someone doesn't agree, they're still gonna at least think about it, or it's gonna cross their mind. That's just how it is. I can't. It's not my fault. I don't make the rules. I can't change that. And which isn't the important. It's about the clickers. It's about the world. It's about the atmosphere, the environment, the accuracy, all these things. But my thing, every single time with everything, is gonna be the characters. Above all, that's my first priority. And granted, the Mortal Kombat movies, you can literally come up with so many different iterations of something that came from something else or whatever. Like, oh, you get this actor who looks nothing like the person in the game, if that was even a thing at all. If something came from a book, or there wasn't, these characters just had to, by the time they got on film, they were just kind of anybody. Whoever can get casted and land that role, good for them. But the problem with The Last of Us is that the game was so realistic looking, and great graphics, and PlayStation demo game can really utilize what this machine is capable of. This Japanese made high quality premium best console out there. It's a showcase game. I mean, that's why it's like one of their mascots. It's an exclusive game, not anymore, but it was, and it blends in with that family of why that PlayStation has this standard that they do. So the game did nothing wrong. It was perfect, amazing, 10 out of 10, all these things. The show, man, it was. Every time I looked at Bella, I looked at the girl who just happened to be in Game of Thrones years ago. I don't know what else she's done. But I just can't get over that. I tune it out when I'm watching, because I'm just sitting there enjoying it anyway, but it's a very soothing, calming, relaxing, chill show. And I love seeing with how much experience I have with the game. I love every minute of it. I don't care. It's just Ellie. She doesn't even at least sound like her. When I hear Ashley Johnson just talking, I literally hear Ellie, like those undertones and that right under that layer of like, even though I'm looking at her, I hear Ellie. When I see and hear Troy, I don't think of Joel at all. They look nothing alike. Troy looks more like the guy from Hangover, Brad Cooper, with the facial hair and the kind of chiseled, sharp jaw and the nose and the eyes, and Troy just sounds like every single guy in every game, because he is in every single game and show and anime and yeah. Troy's a little overrated. To be fair, I don't really care much for that like country Texan accent. I don't really care. But with Pedro, I mean honestly, like if Pedro voiced Joel, I wouldn't mind that. It wouldn't make as much sense with Joel being who he is written as a character, but that's basically what he did for Mando. He just voice acted. I mean, it fucking worked out great. Not to say I don't like him as an actor. And of course, Bella, like her normal voice is all, you know, British. Go figure. Yeah, I don't know. It's weird because she's kind of the only thing that just didn't make it as good. Everything else was just fine. All the direction, what Neil did, all the consulting, all the effects look great. The quality of the show. But to be fair, you know what's funny? I think the only person they did any justice to was Jesse. Oh, an actual Asian guy. That kind of looks like him in the game. I know that there's a little bit more to work with there because of that distinction, the ethnicity and all that, but I believed it. You know, when you see Bella on screen doing whatever she's doing, pretending and acting like Ellie, I don't believe it. I don't really buy it. You know, and that's how I've been with actors here and there, not all the time, but I see the same guys in like every single movie. I don't know if the number now, all these new next Gen Z millennial actors are kind of taken over, right? But it's like I see the same people in like everything, which really can definitely take you out of it. It's not that I hate Bella, or it's just that mindset of like, oh, you know, I've seen her over here, now she's here. I can't cut that kind of thing. That's the only point that I was getting at, but. And to be fair, they didn't do Abby a lot of justice. Dude, I don't know what's up with the casting, man. I realize that, like, looks and build and body isn't always gonna match up to what's from a game or whatever it is that they're trying to accomplish. Or Fantastic Four, for example, it's way different. I think the older one's way better. Jessica Alba, what's his butt? It just worked. Grimm, the Thing, I believed it. The new Fantastic Four, I don't believe that. Yes, you need to put different people in. Yes, they need to be different actors for whatever reason. Yes, half these people are either way too damn old or dying. But it's tough though, because you either have to replace people or people just... That's the thing, they get too old and then it's like, ugh, if they're doing like some kind of timeline thing. But Abby, she's so skinny. She's so skinny little white girl, dude. She's so white and thin, I can just sniff her. But yet in the game, she's actually like sexy and hot and muscular, and it's kind of freaky, and she's just gorgeous. I love the name Abby. I always have since I was like in middle school, elementary, maybe even high school. I don't know, but in her hair, the blonde hair, and her eyes are gorgeous. The freckles. I've looked at her and heard her so many times. Laura Bailey, apparently, which I never even really would have noticed that name up until I heard people over talking about her. You know, it's funny. Ashley Johnson looks more like Ellie than Bella does. Why the fuck didn't you just have her in there? I don't get it. The Until Dawn movie was terrible. Why do these things have to be so hit and miss? It's like I can only defend the gaming stuff for so long because it's like, and you know they're gonna cause controversy. That's honestly part of probably their plan, if you think about it. It's bad press is good press, so I don't know. I don't really want to feed the beast, but that was my problem when I saw Abby. I didn't believe it. This is why I covered what I did at the beginning, because it's like there's everything is time. By the time I see Abby or Ellie, Joel's in the clear. I don't know. Which is funny because you're getting this HBO quality, you're getting this premium price point, you're paying a lot to watch this one show that says it's an hour, but really it's fucking bonus features no one gives a shit about, or they're gonna not even bother to watch till like later. Probably not right after. Me, I watch it, I get off. Okay, man, I got shit to do, or I'm doing something, or I'll commit that hour-ish, but... And then there's an intro, there's a recap, there's the outro, there's the credits. Really, you're getting maybe 45 minutes. There's no regulation on the actual time of the episodes. It could be 30 minutes. Shit's not cheap, man. One season that might have 8 episodes. They're doing what they can. It's scandalous. They're doing what they can to milk every episode and make it look like it's actually really long, but it's not. These seasons are short. You're waiting on the other one to come out. I probably only get that service for that couple months or so by the time the season actually fully comes out. Instead of just being nice about it and just giving you the whole damn show right off the bat anyway, you're paying that premium price point. Give me what I want. I know what they're doing, man. These shows make twice as much as a movie because of how long it gets stretched out for. Which it's worth it, because like, hey, it's expensive, it's good. You are technically getting more screen time, but yeah. It's the thing with shows, they're always watered down, and I'm not gonna go there again. I just did that recently, but it's kind of like Fallout. It's really just something to watch and just, oh, cool. It's not that good. I feel like people think this show is just amazing, and it's like it's good. It's not that good. Do I love seeing a game I've played for hundreds of hours on film, on a set, being played out and acted and in a much more relatable, immersive, engaging environment versus this whole interactive thing you have to do and playing the game, and this is a way to take a break from that and kind of just sit there and chill. Yeah, but it's kind of a bare minimum thing. Like, I'm happy, but I know it could be. There's so much potential with these things, and I'm not in the industry, so I don't know all the doodads, but I'm not sure why these things have to be separate for a reason. I get it. You don't want it to be too much like the game, but I think in this case that could have just really worked. Because a lot of games, they can be cel shaded, they could be cartoony, they could be anime, they can be old, which just aren't gonna have very good graphics anyway. They can be like 8-bit pixely style. It can be done in so many ways. The Need for Speed movie, I actually liked it. I think Jesse Pinkman, or whatever, Aaron Paul, whatever his name is, he fit really well in that. These are just examples. I love the Resident Evil movies. But the thing with a lot of those, though, is they didn't really have a face to go off of in the first place. They didn't really have this end-all, full-spectrum 360 resource material to go off of in the first place. A lot of things may not even have any sort of like original concept design or at all. So more than likely, anybody you stick up there is probably gonna work. And here it's just... Is there just not enough actors? Dude, where's the talent scouts? Find these people. There's somebody out there right now, I guarantee, that looks just like Ellie. And that's not counting her face model or Ashley or whoever. Like, literally, I could probably walk across the street and see someone that looks just like her. Or watch an entirely different movie or show. Everybody looks the same. Everywhere. We're all related in some way or another. I see two people that look... I see someone that reminds me of what someone else looks like everything that I watch. granted, these are games, so people are gonna, you know, there's the face mapping, there's the whole whatever. But I can even still see somebody that I know of, whether it's in real life or whether that I can, like, oh, this, it's not that hard to do. But that's just the weird things that I see and perceive, and my perception and observation and observing people, and you know, do what the FBI does or the military, man. Just okay, this is what Ellie looks like. Who out there has those exact distinctive features? Go find them. Give him some acting training, dude. You know what the problem with the show is? It had a very big budget. It's HBO quality. They put too much on the line. They knew there was gonna be some big money out of it. But it also has to follow up with the game, which did so well in of itself that there's a lot of pressure there. Like, honestly, I could probably find like a YouTube fan-made film or something, someone cosplaying as Ellie, and literally I'd just be like, oh my god, thank you. And to be fair, Ellie and Joel, they're the most normal, like, oh, you got your fun Ellie, wee woo, and you got your butt, you know, anal Joel, and anybody could point him in the right direction, dude. Anybody could do that. We're not talking like the only fantastical thing in this whole show is the cordyceps and the monsters, the infected, the bloaters, but everything else, easy. They made the game so normal and relate. That's why it did so well, is because anybody can kind of be like, can either identify with someone or just be, that's the thing, I know someone that looks like these people, or these, this is all in your backyard. But it sucks because I don't want to have to be like shitting on anybody. Because it's like, I want to just for once or something be like, you know what, this show is great, nothing bad to say, no negatives. It was a good ride. I think it's still going, I don't know why. If there's 2 games, just make 2 seasons out of it. You know where they fucked up at is there was this weird shit in season 2 that which reminded me of another HBO show, Game of Thrones. Oh, and Bella too. How weird. I get the production and stuff is under the same name or whatever the hell is going on, but like, why the hell was that not in the game at all? Why was it in there, dude? When something becomes so obvious of a choice of like, hey, this wasn't in the game, but we're gonna put it in the show to differentiate them, or obviously Neil doesn't really care, it's his baby, but he's just like, oh, I'm getting a show out of it, you know, I trust you guys, do what you want. But what's funny about Neil is I think he gets a lot of shit, but he's also someone that he's smart, he knows what he's doing, he's a genius. This is his thing and nothing can take that away from him, not HBO, not me, nobody. But why the hell did Neil agree to that scene in season 2? If you want to fuck over the casting, fine, but like, what in the world, dude? That did... If anything, that was just a nod towards Game of Thrones. Which, to be fair, I don't think HBO would even be where it is today without Game of Thrones. That's part of the problem, is they were they're riding on its coattails. I'm just like, dude, you're dealing with 2 completely different shows, 2 completely different timelines, characters, environments, everything, stories. I don't even want to put the word story in there, but that was weird. Tommy, he didn't look anything like Tommy. But you know what? I liked Tommy. Tommy's wife didn't look anything like Tommy's wife in the game, but you know what? Fine. It was just such a weird show. You know what it was like? It was like watching an anime live action. It was just so weird. It's like I'm seeing Tokyo Ghoul, for example. I'm seeing the mask, I'm seeing the likeness, I'm seeing the hair, I'm seeing the names, I'm hearing them, I'm seeing the environments, the set pieces, but I don't believe a single second of it. And this is translating from anime to real life, so that's almost an entirely different approach, but ultimately the same kind of concept. Like, you're taking one thing, turning it into another. You know, it doesn't matter if it's a Western anime thing, English, whether it's like Tekken or Dragon Ball Z or it's not pretty. And games are unfortunately in that kind of same category. But I think gaming, aside from movies and shows themselves, they're always kind of, you know, they say games make more money than shows and movies do. I can see it, but I don't think it'll ever rise above shows and movies. It's not how the cards are dealt. But that doesn't mean when these shows and movies keep getting made, they have to almost purposely, like, make it into a dumpster fire. It's so strange. Half the time, I feel like they're doing it on purpose. I don't know what they're up to, man. You don't really know until you kind of get in on the inside. It's like the FBI or the Area 51. You just don't know. And you can talk to someone all day, but that ain't gonna mean shit. You can interview people, you can, you know, go online, do whatever you gotta do, but you're never gonna have that hands-on information of like why they're choosing to do what they do. What was their decision-making process? How many hands did it have to go through? Who was ultimately the decision maker here? You know, you never know what happens in these rooms with these people in it. You know, they're writing the show. The problem is it takes so many people to make one project. You know, one guy's doing this and that. That's what it takes. That's what it takes. But I feel like we're still in such an old school, like, can things start to be simpler? Do we need as much people? I mean, do we though? Like, they're not really changing anything, huh? They're definitely sticking to their guns and working with what works and what's been proven to work throughout time, but it's like, look at all the negative things that happen in between all that. So much just gets lost and kind of thrown away or changed or rearranged, and it just never, I don't understand. And yet they keep doing it. I'm not sitting here agreeing with all the review, you know, all these keyboard warriors, but I'm also, I gotta like slightly be on their side too, because, you know, a very small percentage of me agrees. Other than that, there's really not much to cover. It's The Last of Us. It's just like the game. There's not much to it. It's literally the most basic, simple, easy show / game you could ever play or watch. Yeah, there's some drama. There's some crying. There's some pretty much everything you would expect. That's why it could have translated into so much of a better show, but it was still a good show regardless. Dina didn't look anything like Dina. However, she was really hot. I actually saw her recently in something. Oh yeah, I rewatched Alien Romulus. I totally didn't even realize that was her. Obviously she's in Dora the Explorer. Dude, she's beautiful. She's like the next Vanessa Hudgens or Alexa Vega. I think she was a little too hot though. Like, her contrasted with Bella, Looked very strange. Riley kind of looked like Riley. The thing with Ellie and Dina from the game, you know what? I think Dina from the game was hot too. She had a big nose, hairy armpits. But she was Dina. She was so cool and chill, and she's thick. I can definitely, like, when people shit on RE3 for being too short, I can see why. I think it's kind of dumb, but it's still a good game, period. But I guess the more time you do spend with something, the more you really can pick it apart, because you kind of see a little bit more than most people do. And I can relate to that. But Dina and Ellie, I didn't care much for all that. Like, hey, aside from of how they're seen, they're still friends at the end. They're still just together doing whatever people do in the pre-apocalypse, post-apocalypse. And that's cool. But once again, I just didn't really believe it. It just felt so forced and kind of faked and artificial, like, oh, they can do a little chemistry test and probably get along just fine, sure. I mean, this is what they do, that's their job. But I don't know, man. They couldn't have made it so weird and so much, like, every single chance they got. There was no effort there. And the thing is, because the show has so little to offer, it's just like watching The Walking Dead or something. It's like, oh, there's really not much to work with, man. There's bad guys, there's good guys. Really nothing else in between. We're not talking space, we're not talking fantasy, we're not talking just horror, we're not talking, you know, action. It's just kind of, it leaves a weird, keeps leaving me in a weird spot. I keep giving it a chance because I can, but I hate kind of just leaving the show, like, just feeling just, there's cool moments. I mean, whatever you can gather to make up for all its wrongdoings, but I mean, basically it's good. Could be better. It's not great. Yeah, I don't know what's going on there. It really, you know, that's probably not, I feel like it's just kind of, I can't unsee things like that, and that's just kind of my own curse. It's my own problem to deal with. It doesn't mean I can't enjoy a show or movie just like anybody else, because I definitely do that, or anime or whatever. But when I see these people, I can't just not see them, you know, doing the bare minimum, doing their 9 to 5. Like, hey, I'm here, I'm playing this part, I'm doing my thing, these people hired me, and clearly they know what they're doing, and they're qualified, and have all these credentials, and I think it really takes that passion out of it, it takes that love out of it, it takes that... Because granted, at the end of the day, these people are just characters, and somebody needs to play them. It doesn't matter how, it may not be pretty, the position has to be filled. I understand, like, the black and white part of it. But it's a shame that I'm sick of seeing things with so much potential. Gory movies, why don't they have more gore? They're holding back, man. It's like, no one cares anymore. If movies, like, ratings and all these things, just put movies out. You can still be at the top of your game, Hollywood, doing whatever they do, but it's like, just drop all the bullshit. All the legal stuff, all the things that just make everything bad. A lot of movies make it through that kind of threshold and come out the other end, but and it's weird now because of streaming services. It's not a very I still think they're kind of in their baby phase of they're not really a super established thing yet. They're not really mature. They're like in their teenage years where they're grown up. They've been around for a while. But I still don't think they know what they're doing. Price point wise, bundle wise, show wise. They just keep kind of putting out just enough to make it by and to get people to come back, and but it's a cash grab. It's a, you know, bottom denominator kind of thing. And I'd love to say I shouldn't be supporting that stuff, but here I am. But that doesn't change the fact that everything that I'm trying to support and love and appreciate just kind of ends up coming out really messed up on the other side. It's like alchemy, Full Metal Alchemist. It's like you try to bring your brother, you know, you try to mess with fire, dude, and you get burned. You try to bring your mom back to life, dude, and she's a zombie. It just doesn't work. I don't know what kind of magic hoodoo they're doing over there, but and that means a lot coming from me saying things like that, though, because I like the Star Wars prequels. I like a lot of things a lot of people hate. And that's not just because of that, it's just because I naturally, organically feel that way. But for me to kind of throw in The Last of Us in that same kind of pile, yeah. I think if it wasn't for those decisions, it would have just been such a nice baseline, smooth, flowy thing. Like, I'm not looking at somebody throwing me off. I'm not picturing this being different. I'm just watching and just taking it all in, which is what I kind of have to do anyway. But I can't unsee, I don't know. And once again, that's just a time thing, really. That's the unfortunate part about it, is the fact that it's, when you see things, it's like your mom. It's like you imprint on them, and you see things. There's nothing like that first love, that first movie, that first show, that first anime, that first episode, that first relationship, that first friend, that first anything. It's just nothing can compete with it afterwards. And instead of these shows and movies leaning into that concept, go the opposite direction. Don't be afraid to go there. Don't be afraid to, like, do exactly what's expected. It's so rare that things actually kind of come out in this different medium as intended. You know, it's not even the fact that, oh, these things like take plenty of time. There's no rush. There's always deadlines, but the thing is, do the pre-planning, man. Get it together. Get your shit together. Next time you decide to do this, man, when you're taking a very real game and trying to make it into a real show / movie, whatever, just carry it on over. It can't be fun getting all the flack that they get, getting all the hate and all the bad. You want people talking about your show, but you want them saying good things, man. You don't want them saying, oh, this is crap, or... God, that's such a shame, too. Like, either way, y'all get paid and you get your paychecks, and, you know, you did your thing and you're happy and proud of it, but... It's like Gordon Ramsay, dude. It's like, where's the love? Where's the passion? It's there, but the issue is you have such specific people, you know, being the puppet master, and they're seeing something completely different. Their vision is just not there. Like, it can take a really specific person to see these things. It's like dreams, or it's like, just anything with a vision, but you have to have the right vision. You have to see these things in clear, pristine 4K color, Technicolor. Someone could be like, oh, The Last of Us. Okay. But they're like going this way. I don't know. Like, literally out of every gaming adaptation, this is just... I couldn't get behind it at all. Fallout worked out pretty well because there was no, like, real face to it. There was nothing to latch onto and compare, and you can just you could throw me in there, dude, and yeah, Fallout. That's what made it so perfect, is the game. That's why those games are so legendary too, is they can work with basically nothing and really flourish and expand on that, not being too in on its own thing. But since that's what The Last of Us happened to do, you're either gonna go that way or not. Carry it on over. Don't go the opposite direction. You know, I think people would be a lot more happy with it. For once. Not only myself, but others as well, which would be nice. I wouldn't feel so alone. They could be like, wow, that was actually really good, and actually mean it, and get some clarity, and actually open up their minds. Because these people, you know, they survive and they live this small existence, and it's like, dude, whatever we do get, you gotta make them happy, man. It's all about the fans. That's priority one. That's how it's always been. That's how it always will be. And when you do not cater to them, you mess with the bull, you're gonna get the horns. Because now what? Now, even if you guys break even or make a profit, you know, these things are so structured in a way where I don't think you're ever gonna tank or really lose money per se, but like... And sure, people forget about the shows. Oh, they move on. They watch other things. They play other things. That's just... But not only for the fans, the fans, the fanboys. But when you bring back a season 2, when you make another game, when you make a movie, these are the things that are gonna really care or matter to want more. Instead of like, oh, this was shit, maybe this next thing will be better. Because more than likely, if you've been disappointed once, you're gonna get disappointed again. And then people are gonna settle for it, and they're just gonna live with it. And deep down somewhere, subconsciously, they're gonna hate themselves for doing that, for making that choice of even trying to, you know, give these people the benefit of the doubt and believe in them. Because they just get let down time and time again, and I feel bad for them. On one hand, they're just whining and complaining and bitching and moaning. But on the other, they have a point. So I'm not gonna like sit there and fully disagree with them. I just don't want to hear it. It's like, hey, if someone doesn't like something, fine, but there's a very big difference between something where there was actually some effort there versus something that just kind of spat right in its face. And you got to look at all the kind of different factors and all the different pieces that made it a whole thing. Other than that, I mean, it's a decent show. It's comparable with The Walking Dead. It's very AMC, like filtery, HBO, late night, cozy. It's good enough to watch, but beyond that, I wouldn't expect too much. It's very passive, like, yeah, it's okay, it's not bad. Looks great, you know, it's just standard now, right? Technology and where we're at and all that, and yeah, it's good. A lot of good effects and good effort. Everything's there. Except the most important part is the characters, so. But hell, when season 3 comes out, what am I gonna do? I'm gonna watch it. But I just think it's better to not have any expectations, because you're gonna get let down. It's like goals. It's like it's just easier to not have goals because you may not meet those goals. Because that's the thing, when people expect too much, they do get disappointed. And here it's like, I wasn't expecting too much. I don't give a fuck what they do with it, man. I still have the games to enjoy. But that's always gonna, it's like running back to your ex-girlfriend. It's like, that's not exactly a good thing. You know, you don't want to always just go back to its older source material. You want to enjoy what's still coming out and what's good today in our lifetime. Make our barely 100 years on this planet worth it, you know? Give us the good shit. Where's the good shit, man? I don't want any more flaky dirt weed. Give me the chronic. Where's that good? The blueberry yum yum, that sticky icky, that gooey green, you know? Why am I keep getting like this mid, like meh stuff? It's so rare that I can walk away from a show or a movie and just be like, wow, that was actually good. Tron Ares, I thought that was amazing. But then I watched The Last of Us, I'm like, To be fair, it is kind of a more boring, slower, it's definitely a differently paced game. Or show. So, but see, that's what doesn't do it any favors, is by doing what they chose to do and not having it kind of really come together in a nice cohesive package. And that was ultimately their downfall. But these are the things that get swept under the rug too. It's like, well, people do like it, they like it enough, it works. But that's all anyone's gonna know is the stuff that doesn't, you know, because people are very gullible and they'll be like, oh, if this person likes it, if X amount of people like it, surely I will too. Even like non-Last of Us fans, because at the end of the day, it's still a show to watch for anybody. Doesn't matter how old you are, if you're a gamer. But that's part of the problem too, is they were trying to cater to not only the gamers, which was going to be their target audience, but also anybody and everybody, which I don't know what the data is like there, the numbers, like, does that work? I don't know, man. Because honestly, to any non-gamer, that's probably really just going to turn them off. Because non-gamers, normal people, normies, I think they're very traditional and they're kind of stuck in their own ways, and they're probably older and but granted, you're gonna get like people like me that are kind of in that nice ripe that age group, and then you're gonna get people that are younger who are just gonna be their mind's like a sponge, dude. They're gonna probably really love all that. Because it's, if anything, it's going to be more for me and anyone younger than me, but anyone older, You know, is someone that watches Law and Order, SVU, are they going to even notice The Last of Us? There's HBO enthusiasts out there. They're definitely going to notice, but you know what's going to turn them off immediately is the whole gaming thing. It's like, it's not really me. No, gamers are nerdy and geeky and lame and ugly, and that's exactly the direction that's their mindset, which isn't good, and that should change. But when you're trying to put out a show that ends up being bad and not even at least satisfying the people that should have loved it even that little bit more, while trying to dilute it enough to the point where you're trying to get this entirely other demographic, it's not gonna go that well. I could be wrong though. It's just a thought. But the thing is, like, being a sellout, you know, you're doing what works and what puts the bread on the table, but I don't. I think with projects like this, man, I think they should really be treated like a fine wine. Like, you gotta really respect the where it's coming from, and just maybe be a little bit more considerate and have some remorse of where is a good place and direction that these things should go in or could go in, not where they have to go in. Or it's like when somebody says, I can't help you. You can't or you won't. You know, it's like, I don't know. But hey, it's just people being people, making people things, so cool. The Last of Us.